Hey there everybody, it's me, Mike Wittig, Professor Klaus, here to teach you about how to make a thumbnail for YouTube using Adobe Photoshop. So what are thumbnails used for? Well, they're basically posters for your videos. Unfortunately, people do judge a book by its cover, and when they're scrolling through a bunch of YouTube videos, they're gonna take the one that catches their eye first. I think the three elements that people like to see when they're looking at thumbnails are a title, a picture of something that captures the essence of the video, as well as a picture of the presenter of that video. There's plenty of ways to create YouTube thumbnails, and you want to get one that matches your personality the best. My goal here is just to teach you a really quick way to create a thumbnail for YouTube using Adobe Photoshop. Let's get started. So here we are in Photoshop. I'm going to select New File to create a new document. I'm going to go over to the Film and Video tab and select 1280 by 720, which is the standard size of a thumbnail in YouTube. We could go 1080 and then downscale it, but why bother? It's just a thumbnail and doesn't need to be super high resolution. So here we are, I have my document handy. It's all open. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to import a couple of images that I already prepared for this. One is a screen capture of the Photoshop interface. I'm going to bring that in right now. I'm going to go over here. Right there, screenshot, and that's the way. See, no document in the middle, and I'm just going to drag that into my current document by grabbing it and dropping it in, and then selecting the check mark to accept it. Next up, I'm going to import another image, and this time I think I'm going to get my headshot. I often take a bunch of headshots of myself at once just so I can use them for thumbnails. They're pretty silly looking, but like I said, we want to capture attention. So silly faces do the trick. And this one here looks good. That's what I'm going to use. I'm going to drag this one into our document as well. I'm going to hit the check mark. And then I have one more thing I want to add in here that's not in there yet. And that is I have a little image, a PNG of the Photoshop logo. So I'm going to drag that in as well. And I'm going to hit the check mark to accept that. So let's get started. I'm going to turn off the Photoshop layer and the background layer, and I'm going to stay on the layer of my face here. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to eliminate this background here. So what I'm going to do first is I'm going to go over here to the quick selection tool, and I'm going to move up to the top and select Subject. That does a nice outline of my head and body there. What I want to do is take my body off that backdrop. So I'm going to hit the shortcut Command J or Control J on a PC, and that creates a whole new layer where it's away from me. As you can see, the old layer is underneath it, and we don't need that anymore, so I'm just going to delete that. We're okay with what we have. So next up, what I'm going to do here is I'm going to name these layers to make them a little bit more clear to you so we know what we're working with. So on this one here, I'm going to call it Headshot, because it's my headshot. And then right here, we're going to change this one to background. And I think the top one's probably okay as PS because it's the Photoshop layer. So that's pretty clear. So now let's just do something with this here. I'm going to grab the Move tool, which is shortcut V, and I'm just going to nudge this over to the right here just because my arm is cut off. So I can fine tune this with the arrow keys if I want to. They go about 1 frame or pixel at a time, but if I hold the shift button, it goes 5 at a time. That's handy to know. So let's go back and we'll put it back into position there. Just getting that nudged in there nicely. Perfect. So next on the list is to grab the background layer. I'm going to turn that on, make it available and select it. And I'm going to go up to Edit and select the Transform tool, which is right there, and go to Scale. Or I could use the shortcut key, which is Command T, and I'm just going to move this over to the left side here, and then I'm going to drag the bottom right down to fill in so that the red is just nudging the right side. Beautiful, check mark. All right, so now I'm going to turn on my headshot again, just to see how we're looking, and that looks pretty good. Right in this section here on the left is where I'm going to put the text. I'm pretty happy with the way this is looking right now. But it's a little confusing with the two Photoshop images. To make this a little bit easier for you, I'm going to, just so it's not as repetitive, I'm going to put a blur effect on there. I was going to anyways. I'll just do it now to make things a little less confusing. So if I go to Filter and then to Blur, and I'm going to select Gaussian Blur. Oh, look at that. It already looks better. It makes me pop off the screen. I can make it a little more intense or a little more less, but I like it just like that. So that looks pretty good actually. And I think what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take my levels by hitting Control L or Command L on a Mac and bringing the blacks over to from the left here to the right. See how it gets darker? It's wonderful. I'm gonna hit OK, and it really makes me pop a little bit. But I think now that I see that, I think my color on my headshot needs to be darkened a little bit as well. So I'm gonna do Command L or Control L on a PC, and I'm also gonna bring, in this case I'm gonna go to the mids, and I'm just gonna make myself a little bit darker, a bit more of a tan. There we go. That looks good. Hit OK. There we go. We're looking good. So I'm turning on the Photoshop layer because I'm gonna make it look like I'm holding something and not saying this is this big without anything in my hand. So let's move this Photoshop icon in my hand, and you can see if I grab the sides there, I can bring it in evenly. If I go up a little higher on the top, you see those little turn signals come up there, and I can actually tilt it just a bit to make it seem a bit more like it's in my hands, between my fingers. I'm gonna keep adjusting it until I get it just about right. And I think I've almost got it here. Maybe just a little bit, nudge over with my arrows a little bit. And I'm liking the way that looks. I'm gonna just leave it where it's at right now. So even though it looks like I'm holding something, it looks like I'm holding a cardboard cutout. So I'm gonna select the layer, and I'm gonna go to FX to add a layer style to this. And I'm gonna go to Bevel and Emboss. And right off the bat, in this case, the bevel depth seems all right. So I'm gonna just play around with that for a moment, see what looks good. Oh, I think it was pretty good, but you know what? Even at 1,000, it looks pretty good, which is very rare. I'm gonna keep it at that. And I'm gonna mess with the size, and no. I like having a harder edge on there. That looks nice right there. Mess around with the soften. I don't like that either. It looks more real when it's harder edges, so I'm pretty happy with that. Maybe what I'll do next is I'll put a drop shadow on it. So I'm gonna go down to drop shadow here. I'm gonna click on that. Remember to always click on drop shadow so you can see all the features of the, there we go, that's better. I'm gonna put the opacity up high. The thing about drop shadow is you can move around the angle and you can mess around with the distance a little bit, but the easier way is to just click on the screen and move it to where you want it. And in this case, I see the sun, the light's coming from my top of my head kind of, so I'm gonna just move it over to the left, almost at the same angle. And then I'm gonna bring the opacity down a bit to make it seem a bit more natural. So obviously there's a lot of fine tuning you can do along the way, little glows, things like that. These are little accents that are gonna make your thumbnail just a little bit better. Continuing along here, I'm gonna use the outer glow, and I'm going to select the color, and I can choose any color from the spectrum here, or I can click on parts around there, the neck, my eye color, or the inside of the Photoshop logo, which is probably the best one. I'm gonna select that. I'm gonna make the outer glow just a bit more, and look at that. It looks magical. Oh, I'm being silly. So moving along to the last stage, we're gonna hit T, or the text tool there, and we're gonna type in some text to wrap this up. Create a YouTube, capital, thumbnail. There we go. So how to create a YouTube thumbnail. I think what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna make this YouTube thumbnail the color that I've been using on most of my thumbnails, which is orange, dark orange, on most of my thumbnails, just to keep it consistent. There we go. Hit OK and check mark. That looks pretty good. I'm gonna do Control T so I can size it up all at once and sort of move it around as I want to. And that's about right, but it's spilling over. It's kind of close to the edges, so I'm gonna bring that in a bit. Yes. It's nice. It's almost like I planned it. But this is how you create a YouTube thumbnail in Photoshop. You have your main three elements, of course, that make this up. The little Photoshop icon was an add-on on my part, but you have your background, then you have your title, and then you have your image of who the presenter is, and that really does do it for you. I think it's engaging. I think people might click on this link. We'll see. We'll see how the hits turn out. I hope you enjoyed the tutorial on how to create a thumbnail. I hope you use it. I hope it's effective. If you want to see anything different on my site, I'm happy to make videos that accommodate you guys. Open up some conversation. I'd love to hear from you. Please like and subscribe and hit that bell so you can be notified about any other videos I create. Thanks a lot.